Come on. I'm on YouTube. Wakey, wakey.
That's so snaky.
There we go. Bonjour. Welcome to part 39 before the full part 2, where we're going to undertake the ending of ARR and move towards the first expansion, Heaven's Ward. So strap in, this is going to be a long one. So I suggest, if you're watching this back, grab yourself a drink, preferably 2, and some snacks, because this is going to take a long time.
I got my drink.
Yeah.
Sadly, non-alcoholic.
Okay, so let's get this rock and rolling. Let's speak with Midgardsormr. Mask of Grief. Have you a moment, Mino? I believe Ida wished a word with you. I should consider it a personal favour if you would lend sympathetic ear to her troubles. She has not been herself since Moenbryda's passing, and my heart aches to see her so downcast. Yep, I will talk to Ida. Ida. Hey, it's Mino. Great. Oh, it's no use. I'm trying to stay positive, but it's just hard, you know. The thing is, I know Moon would tell me off if she saw me moping around like this. Which is why I decided to cheer myself up by getting her a special flower. I placed an order of a moon daisy from Moenbryda a little while ago, and it's ready to be picked up. Trouble is, I find Moenbryda a bit difficult at the best of times, and well, this isn't one of them. I know it's silly, but I just can't face it at the moment. So I was wondering, do you think you could maybe collect it for me? I have the coin to pay for the flower right here. Thank you so much. I'll be waiting for you. And the daisy? At the Rafe Frost. Anyway, I'd like to make a correction. Your aren't dragons, although they look like dragons. They're not dragons. Turns out I was saying a Asgardian lie upon the first sighting of their first ever ARR. So, yeah, they're not dragons. So, only taken me 39 parts to get to that point, but there you go. It would be nice if they were, though. Moenbryda. What can I do for you today, adventurer? Edric Trinket to trade. They got you running errands now. Them Scions really know how to make the most of your talents, don't they? Sending the savior reveals you into the bleeding market. Fine use of your time, that is. Seriously though, you best learn how to say no, or they'll have you mucking out the chocobo stables next. Anyway, what was it you were here to pick up? The moon daisy, was it? Here, then, take it and tell that Yida last I've got a wide selection of headwear in stock. If she ever decides to replace that dowdy old mask of hers, God knows she needs to. She's actually right, you know.
What?
Moenbryda.
I call her Rowena.
Marina?
Yeah.
The hell is that?
What?
A bird. It is. You didn't notice that before. Anyway. Here you go, you eat it. Well, when it can be so annoying, she just will not take no for an answer. Every time I visit her, she insists I replace my visor with something more fashionable. And when I tell her, like, I like it, I just find the way it is, she says it again, and then again, and then again. It drives me crazy. What I mean to say is I really appreciate you for doing this for me. So anyway, let's see it. Here we go. One daisy. Moenbryda love these things, you know. I hope that somewhere, somehow, she knows I'm still thinking of her.
I'll never forget you, Moon. None of us will.
The song riseth to a crescendo.
Is that what I think it is?
Hello, can you hear me? We have received grave tidings from Ishgard. Pray return to the Rising Stones at once.
It is what you think it is. I'm late. Do, 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 do. Do, do, do. My apologies for the interruption. I was deeply saddened to learn of Moenbryda's passing. Her loss will be sorely felt. Alas, recent developments in Ishgard leave us with little time to mourn. The envoy from Corfus will soon arrive, and we must hasten to hear her report. Defenders of Ishgard. The envoy is here. thank you for receiving me at such short notice. Time is of the essence, so I would forego the usual pleasantries, if I may. Certainly, you have come with news of the Dravanians. Aye, the dragons have begun their attack in earnest. The first wave reached the central highlands not a short while ago. The battle was joined soon thereafter. Sir Amric himself has sallied forth with a contingent of temple knights and several companies of noble houses finest, though the beasts were ultimately forced into retreat. Our victory, in if such may be called, came at the cost of many of our own. Too many. We will not withstand a second wave should the Dravanians renew their assault. You paint a grim picture, my lady. Is it reinforcements you seek, then? We do. Though it pricks our pride, it plain we cannot protect Ishgard with our ranks thus thinned by the Horde. So Emmerich would meet with you and discuss the possibility of enlisting your aid. Very well. I shall depart for Kufus at once. I must warn you, however, with the involvement of the Crystal Blazes by no means assured. Our commitment to quelling the unrest in Ildar must take precedence. Is it with such contingencies in mind that I must make another request? Sons of the Seventh Dawn are known for sharing close ties with the three of the grand companies of Eorzea. Would you consent to plead our case to their leaders? Though I will gladly appeal to the grand companies on your behalf, I dare not promise a favourable reply. You say no more, considering you need say no more, considering our past dealings with the Eorzean alliance. I can well imagine how our plead will be received. But the fate of Ishgard hangs in the balance. We must employ every avenue still open to us, no matter how unpromising. Very well. I shall send a voice to each of the allied nations and have them present your request directly to the heads of the grand companies. In the event that your plea does receive a favourable answer, know that any support will certainly be conditional. Demands will be made of Ishgard. That is only to be expected. Rest assured that I will speak with Sir Elmeric's authority in this matter, and that our actions have fully sanctioned by the Holy See. Which brings me to my final request, a personal appeal to you, Warrior of Light. Lord Commander much desires to speak with you, regardless of your fellow's involvement. You have faced Midgardsormr and survived. Anything you can share of your experience may yield us an advantage over our foe. Thank you. You wear the mantle of hero well. It would seem the road leads us both to Crown Dragonhead. Seek me out when you arrive, Mino. Would it be a time to tell them that I've been consulting with dragons? That Midgardsormr has been telling me, he's been whispering in my ear. I don't think it would be a good idea. What do you reckon?
The sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. Only then will the cycle be broken. Brothers and sisters of the heavens, we raise our voices and join you in the chorus. The sinner's feeble magics are undone. Come, claim your retribution.
And do magical barriers. I know someone that can do that.
Indeed.
Doing a great magical barriers. Also happens to be an elf. Right.
Red Odyssey. Blue red.
Alpha, no. It seems that I was the swifter miner. You two, however, have arrived with time to spare, for our host is yet to make an appearance. The moments about the camp tell us some manner of trouble at the gates of judgment. In the Lord Khan's absence, I suggest we visit the palace. Visit the place and find out what's afoot. Gates of Judgment are as much more than mere doors. They are an outermost layer of Ishgard's magical walls. If our first line of defence can be so easily shattered. Heretic scum, how dare they meddle with our divine protections? I shall rid our nation of their blasphemy, even if it means cutting them down one by one. Okie dokie. He seems like a very angered man. When I laid eyes upon Lady Iceheart, I felt the marrow freeze within my bones. Wait. Okay. We need not fret overmuch. There are yet several layers of arcane protection that shields the city from invasion. Mother will be fine. It would seem the heretic struck the first and most telling blow against Ishgard. Science, we expected you at Camp Dragonhead. My apologies. We had a chance to hear that there had been trouble at the gates and thought it prudent to investigate the cause. Then you have learned of the heretic's treachery. Lady Iceheart led a force of her followers against our defenders and came close enough to dispel the first of our wards. Well, let us speak more in this back at the camp. Sir Amric awaits you. The worms roar. Lady Iceheart's grown bold indeed if she would risk direct action against the city. Come, let us do as we were bid and return to Camp Dragonhead. Lord Oceanfront will know where Sir Amric means to receive us. Hey, Oceanfront. Tis reassuring indeed to behold the countenance of our friend when one's homeland teeters upon the very brink of disaster. Though a single misstep could send us plunging into the abyss, your heroic presence strokes the flames of courage within my heart. But you did not come to Dragonhead to listen to my prattlings. The Lord Commander has arrived and will treat with you in the intercessory. Well, I'm more than happy to hear your prattlings. Greetings, madam. Shall I show you inside? Yes. Sir Emmerich. I thank you for coming at such haste, and apologies for my absence. Suffice to say, Lady Usher and the heretics have much to answer for. Yes, we are recently returned from the Gates of Judgment ourselves. Given the circumstances, we quite understand if you would prefer to postpone our appointed audience. On the contrary, Master Alphano, I think it more important than ever that this meeting take place. Rest assured, I shall return to my post on Ishgard's walls the moment our business is concluded. Before we move on to the subject of reinforcements, however, I would introduce you to a close friend and stalwart ally, Isidian. We meet again.
Where's your phone?
Hello, Isidian. We meet again. May I present to you Ishgard's Azure Dragoon? An impressive title, though I confess I know precious little of the Order of the Dragoons. Then the formidable warriors. They are formidable warriors, yet even among such masters of the lance, Isidian is without equal. He, out of all warriors of Ishgard, has chosen to wield the power of dragons, and may thus contend with any Dravonian. You flatter me. You flatter overmuch, Lord Commander. Even if I was without equal, I am no longer, as my fellow Azure Dragoon here will attest. Be at ease, Mino. I did not come to challenge you this day. Well, now that we have been introduced, let us proceed with the matter of hand. I would share with you all that we have learned of Iceheart's designs, as confessed by the heretics taken captive after the assault on the gates. It would seem Lady Iceheart and the Dravonians share a common goal, the reclamation of Nidhogg's stolen eye. Nidhogg, one of the 7 great worms. His name features prominently in your nation's history, though once defeated by the hero Hadrath. The beast was said to have terrorized Corfus since Ishgard's founding. Yeah. Many are scars over our many are the scars our walls bear from Nidhog's relentless efforts to raise the city. The trophy Hadrath plucked from the bested worm's skull, simply known as the Eye, is a treasured relic of Ishgard, and one possessed of untold power. Should it ever be returned to Nidhogg, the dread creature would be restored to the height of his strength, and then no wall or ward we could erect would be stout enough to deny him. My vengeful son hath waged war against Ishgard for thousands of years. No mortal mind could comprehend the depths of his rancor. The eye itself is secreted deep within the vault. It's kept under heavy guard, surrounded at all times by men and women who have proven their loyalty to the Holy See. But through stout walls and sharp blades may suffice to discourage the heretics. The dragons have another matter. There are individuals within the Dravonian horde whom our entire company of knights would labour to repel, to say nothing of Nidhogg himself. Nor does age rob them of their strength, though the endless march of the years dragons endure, patient, calculating, inexorable. You must understand these creatures do not share our perception of time. And this is especially true of the great worms. They would spend centuries in slumber only to wake and resume their campaigns if mere hours had passed. It has been 20 years since Nidhogg last darkened our skies. 20 years for him to gather his strength and for us to bolster our defences. And now, just as he seems primed to return, the heretics strike at the gates. You believe that Lady Iceheart is in league with the creature, then? Of that we cannot be certain, though we know that the heretics can convert the eye, and we have been unable to determine their plans for it. Such questions aside, we must needs address the ragged hole in their mistress. Their mistress has seen fit to rend in the Ishgard's protections. 'Tis a weakness the Dravanians are not like to leave untested. So it would seem. You have described your plight in admirable detail, Lord Commander. Yet I cannot help but wonder at your candour. Why share such sensitive information with us? I shall speak plain. Ishgard is in need of allies, and I would have you bolster our front lines in readiness for the coming battle against the dragons. This much I expected. Unlike our arrangements concerning the keeper of the lake, however, only you stand on to benefit from our assistance in this matter. I fail to see why we should intervene in a conflict which concerns only Ishgard and Dravana. When the Elorzian Alliance requested your Ishgard's assistance during Operation Archon, you refused. Does it not seem grossly unjust to demand that now we risk our lives in your private war? I make no attempt to defend my country's conduct. I ask only that you consider what would follow here were Ishgard to fall. Having razed our cities to the ground, the Horde would have little cause to linger, and most would return to their lairs in Dravana. Soon thereafter, the Corones of Corfus would be buried in snow, and the land would become the sole province of beast and beastmen. Until the Guardian's arrival, that is, for you may be certain the Empire would not hesitate to claim Corfus. That they would not even have to draw steel. It's true. An imperial province sharing the border with Moldona. 7 hells. Very well. We will assist you in repelling the dragons. The roar of the Great Worm may have shaken the filament, but we of Eorzea will not abandon our Asgardian brothers to face the coming horde alone. Nor did I ever think you would. Now, upon the matter of the roar. Allow me, Sir Imric. Through the power of the eye, I have become the vessel of Nidhogg's strength. His essence has stolen into my very blood. Fear not. I am in full control of my faculties, I assure you, and the eye itself is of no relevance to this tale. It is not essential that I bear it with me wherever I go. Its lingering influence does, however, allow me to hear Nidhogg's voice. Then the worm who roared was Nidhogg. Aye. He means to hurl his horde against the Driffin's collar and shatter the remaining walls that protect the city. There can be no doubt the worm has summoned his minions to war. Well, shit. Though the circumstances are far from ideal, this desperate endeavour will at least provide us with an opportunity to bring the sister states of Eorzea together in a common cause. Sir Imric was more ruthless in his negotiations than I anticipated. I suppose one must give no quarter when one's home is at stake. But did you see the look on his face when he formally requested our assistance? The Lord Commander had long campaigned for Ishgard to open its gates to outsiders. I suspect this is softening in the Holy See's attitude towards foreign cooperation comes at something of a bittersweet victory. Days ahead promise to be interesting indeed. Indeed they do. Indeed they do. Oh boy. Why didn't they vote? Damn it.
What the hell is happening? What the hell happened?
Walking and talking at the same time. Never do that.
I thought you fell off the chair or something.
No. Just walking to do me like that. Got me cables caught. But why didn't they put voice actors in that bit?
Yeah.
That was what was I trying to say before I was rudely interrupted by a cable. Okay. Committed to the cause. If we are to aid the Asgardians in this war of theirs, preparations will have to be made and soon. Before proceeding, however, we must needs return to the Rising Stones and make our report to the Acadent. Okay, let's go. Pray return to the Rising Bloody Stones. It's not like we've got bloody link shells.
Yep. You hear what happened in Spain, Portugal, and France?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Blackout.
Alfino, it is good to see you. Tell me, what have you learned?
Pray summon the others. Everyone must hear my report.
So this was all but a taste of what's to come.
Indeed. The main host advances upon Ishgard as we speak.
Whose vaunted defenses have been nullified.
Shorn of its wards, the city will bear the full force of Nidhogg's fury.
All those people.
Alfino is right. The Dravanians cannot be allowed to prevail. If Ishgard falls, all of Eorzea will suffer the consequences.
Yeah, I did hear about the blackout. So they're getting the power back, aren't they?
Yep. But entire
Then you agree that we have no
Portugal,
choice but to intervene. For the good of the realm, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn
Spain,
and the Crystal Braves
also
must join the defense of
France.
Ishgard.
Let there be no ambiguity about what has been proposed. We would be
But
directly
northern
intervening in the war.
Spain and southern Spain have gotten the power back.
But if all here believe the cause to be just,
Attacked,
then to war we shall go.
and why he cut off the power. That he lives on the island.
The path we now embark upon is perilous. But I pray you will walk with us to the end. For those we have lost, for those we can yet save.
Then it is settled. I shall inform the Council of our intentions and request that they contribute their own forces to the defense of Ishgard.
then. Volunteer Dragon Slayers. I have bid the Archons travel to their assigned nations. Should the members of the Alliance agree to place Grand Company soldiers to the Ishgard's cause, our comrades will be on hand to act as intermediaries for the duration of the conflict. Small matter of persuading the Alliance leaders to grant such support, I leave to Alphino. For you, my friend, a different task awaits. I would have you reach out to your fellow adventurers and gather what allies you may for the coming siege. I would also have you consider a matter of our own security. Revenant's Toll is but a short flight from the snowfields of Corfus. It is not unimaginable that the fighting may spill across the border. Pray brief staff born of the brewing conflict to discuss potential contingencies. Frontier settlers must be prepared for aught that might wing its way over our walls. I only hope that such precautions prove unnecessary. Before you leave, may I suggest that you have Tatara accompany you. She has a talent for administration and a firm grasp of practical challenges we may encounter. Tataru! We are rather close to Corfus, aren't we? We best see to our own defences and make stock of our supplies. Oh, and we also need to have beds and bandages laid out just in case. A good receptionist is ready for any eventuality. Let's go, Mino. I've 101 things to discuss with Staffborn. I'm sure he's looking forward to it. I appreciate the warning. If war is coming to Corfus, then the toll must be made ready. I'll increase the number of patrols and lookouts immediately. I'll also see about finding room for an infirmary, as well as a temporary housing for victims of the conflict. Ishgard has done well for us in the past, and I would return the favour. As for the rounding up of volunteers for fighting itself, I'm afraid I must disappoint you. I will not send my fellow guild members to die on this guardian soul, and I'm certain headquarters will say the same. There will be no official Adventurers Guild presence at this siege. That said, each adventurer is, of course, free to do as he or she will. I shall have a word with some of my more capable colleagues on your behalf, and you might try your luck here at Revenant's Toll. I dare say there are a few stout souls about town who would answer your call to arms. Let's get started, shall we? We have a town to rouse. Would you want to fight a giant dragon? No, fuck that. Spare me your talk of glory and fame. I'm not in the habit of volunteering for lost causes. I have survived this long for trusting my instincts, and my instincts tells me to stay well away from Ishgard. Ishgard sounds like she's in a right mess, but that ain't what I wanted to talk to you about. I need you to cast your mind back to the scuffle with the Empire by the processing plant. A lad from Little Alamigo by the name of Wilfred was there with the fourth that day, and I want to know if you've seen him since. Have you? Nope. God damn it, I feared as much. No one's bloody seen him. It's like the ground's opened up and swallowed him whole. But that ain't all. That ain't all. Around this time, Wilfred stops turning up for duty. Then black market weapons went missing from our vaulting order. So now, of course, half the brave suspect the lad of making off with the goods. Folk like me like to believe our company's disciplined fighting force, but as you and me both know, there's no more than a motley collection of mercenaries, adventurers, and Grand Company veterans. The only thing that binds us together is some vague oath about fighting for freedom for all, and the steady pay. Now, compared to the most others in the crew, Wilfred's a fresh-faced novice, a bleeding whelp among wolves. But that boy's got passion. When he talked about being a guardian of Eorzea, he bloody well meant it. A lad like him wouldn't go rob us blind and bugger off like that. He ain't that type. And this is just between you and me, mind. There's the fact that the lad wanted to tell me about something queer he noticed in the ledgers. Something about the Braves' numbers not adding up. There's a villain at the end of this trail, and I've stumbled on. And I bet me good eye that ain't young Wilfred. Any road, you got a war to rage, so I'll let you get on. I've just thought someone should know. I'll be seeing you, Mino. Okay. Something doesn't add up. Something smells rotten in the state of Denmark. Adventurous frontier hand. So Ishgard seeks sell swords to bolster its ranks, eh? Though I'm not sure that I like the sound of this siege, those nobles will surely be generous with their rewards. But I have pledged myself to the guard reverence toll. Modest work though it is, I loathe to break the terms of my contract. What to do? What am I doing? Button, just fly up there. Piece about. So, me blade to the Asgardians. Well, them dragons are a fearsome lot, but I'll slay me fair share if the coin was good. I've worked from one of them nights before, you know. Watched me like a bloody hawk he did. Still, I'll put up with the work and worse than that for a heavy purse. That's the spirit. Help your fellow man by getting paid. Are they in here? Volunteer my services in defence of Ishgard? I think not. Dragons claim the lives of every one of my brothers. I do not mean to offer them mine. 'Tis was an escape such fate that I took up the mental adventure in the first place. I would sooner die in the pursuit of fortune than huddle behind an icy wall. Well. There you are, Mino. Did you sway any hearts? 1 or 2, eh? Well, added to mine, that makes 3 or 4, not including Staffborn's friends. We won't have the largest company in the army, but at least, to say, one Revenant's toll veteran is worth a dozen clanking knights at least. Allied perspective. Oh, I've been so caught up with recruiting that I almost forgot. There's been word from Alpha now. Apparently the Alliance leaders are convening in Uldar to discuss Ishgard's plight, and they requested your presence, as usual. Anyway, you would best make your way to Uldar, or you'll be late. Alphino said to him he would meet you on the Royal Promenade. Busy, busy, busy. For that, my apologies for calling you away from your tasks. I had hoped to proceed with these negotiations one leader at a time, but it seems my urgent request for an audience has prompted a gathering of the council. Needless to say, I felt obliged to attend. The Alliance leaders are already seated within. Let us join them, shall we?
We are well aware of Ishgard's dilemma, and we agree with your assessment.
Then I trust there are no objections to the Crystal Brave's intervention.
Uldar has none.
Gridania does not object.
The Crystal Braves are yours to command, Alphino. Do what you will. We shall pray for your success.
It was my hope that you would offer more substantial aid than prayer. I know it is within your means.
Do not presume that you have knowledge of our every concern. The Garleans and the Beast Tribes are but two of many. We are not in a position to contribute greatly to the defense of Ishgard, not when our own homes are still under siege.
We dare not leave our interests in Cartano undefended as well. Telegi Adalegi and his ilk would seize control of the territories in our absence.
The enemy is at their gates, and you would cower behind yours?
I suggest you watch your place there, young man.
No one is cowering, boy. We will offer what support we can.
Aye, support. A handful of men and no more.
Would that we could commit more than a token force to this cause. Yet there are others to whom you might turn. The free companies ever want for work.
Ah, yes. The free companies. They're not like to turn you down.
I beg your pardon? You would entrust the survival of Ishgard to sell swords? Crises like these are the very reason why this alliance was formed. It is our duty to aid our fellow man.
My duty is to my country and my people. If you expect us to place the welfare of a foreign power above our own, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Lest you doubt, Limsa comes first, then the Alliance, and finally, circumstances permitting, Ishgard and the rest. If you cannot understand so simple a concept, then you have no place at this table.
Forgive me, Admiral. I was careless in my choice of words.
I suggest you assemble a party of elite adventurers, assuming you haven't already. Your fellows served us well during Operation Archon. I dare say they will do so again. If I may, Your Grace, I wish to propose a redistribution of forces. If we entrust the security of Uldar to the Brass Blades for a time, we can dispatch a larger force to Ishgard. Your Grace?
Yes. Yes, of course. Do what you will.
Is Her Grace not feeling well?
To the best of my knowledge, Her Grace is in perfect health.
I see. Carry on.
Once again, I owe you my apology. It seems you have been conscripted into leading a contingent of adventurers on yet another mission of insurmountable danger. I fear that we have been left with little alternative. We cannot well abandon Lord Harshenfeld and Sir Amric to their fate. No! We must abide by the Council's decision, as short-sighted as it is, and strive to fulfill our roles as the Audian Guardians. Captain Ilbert, what news? There's been an assault has begun. Then we have about this moment concluded an audience with the Alliance leaders. Move our forces into position. Union will join House Duradere at Still Vigil. Man the cannons alongside the knights and fin the Dravonian horde ere they descend upon Ishgard. I shall join you as soon as I am able. Mino, I would have you and your adventurer allies bolster the defences at the steps of the faith. Yay! Report first to Sir Manacin at the gates of judgment. He will direct you where you are most needed. May the gods grant us victory. Well, I hope so. Otherwise, the game over. Game over. Do 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 do. You are appointed captain of the Sellsword contingent. Then welcome. There are no soldiers of blade work to be done. As we speak, the Dravonian skirmishing parties are harrying positions across the Central Highlands. We've assigned the Crystal Braves and your fellow adventurers to contain these scattered attacks. For the present, I would have you join them. This is, of course, mere a precursor to the assault on Ishgard proper. The wily serpents seek to divide and confuse our forces, and we will not be so easily drawn out of position. Temple Knights will remain on the steps of the faith and continue our preparations. When the Horde arrives in force, they shall face the wall of its guardians still. Report back to me once their advanced skirmishers are slain. Getting more gastral rings. Can I help you guys? I remember when I first got here, like to Corfus, thinking, oh look, surely I can get into this city-state. Nope. Piss off. You can't come here yet. Go away. Yeah, fucking bastard.
Come back when you're grown up.
What's this? Hold the chicken nugget. Yeah, chilly guy. I'm beyond your gates. Wankers. What news, adventurer? The reinforcements decimated, you say? Divining devils, damn their scaly hides. Hold fast to your grief and fury, my lady. We will avenge the deaths of your fellows in the battle to come. The steps of faith. Ere you commit yourself to the siege, you should know that what it is you are tasked with defending. Beyond the gates of judgment lie the steps of faith, a great bridge of stone that leads directly to the city of Ishgard. More than simply a means to cross the sea of clouds, the bridge serves as a foundation for arcane wards that form the barrier we call Dathian's collar. Alas, in dispelling the barrier's outermost layer, the thrice-damned witch Iceheart stripped the bridge of its protection. Thus are the dragons now able to land unhindered upon the steps of faith. As the Drevani succeed in destroying the remainder of the walls, the winged devils will be free to swarm within the city itself. Needless to say, we cannot suffer that to happen. It shall be our task as defenders to prevent any harm from coming to those parts of the bridge wherein the walls are sealed. 3 yet remain, and we have dispatched our forces accordingly. I would ask you and your comrades to accompany our defenders at the outermost ward. I should hope that includes us as well, yes? The signs of the 7th dawn. We could not well stand idly by while the horde threatens the good people of Ishgard. Indeed, to do otherwise would be against all the Master Louis Soir has taught us. As for where we may be almost in existence, I would think it prudent to divide into 2 groups. You and I will join the rear guard. Right, if the dragons should reach us, we'll be sure to give them what for. Thank you, all of you. Pray speak with me again when your preparations are complete, and together we shall stand against the horde. I trust you are ready then. Good. Come, let us make for the battlefield. Huh? Everyone's for back! For back! Railroad! Run away! Run away! Run away!
Ether! To me!
Goddamn chicken nugget, you fouled me. What do you think I'm doing, you a-hole? Hey, Sidian! The Azurgadu! Yay! Success! Huh?
I remember that one being a try.
Yeah.
Shame they didn't make it.
The dragons, they are withdrawing. Victory is ours. One of Nidhogg's greatest champions slain. The Horde will not soon recover from this blow. But what of you, Nidhogg? Why did you not join your minions and take the make of this battle a slaughter? Have you grown so fond of the stench of your lair? Mayhap you prefer to have your allies fight your battles for you. You have a girl to do your bidding now, do you not? No matter. I shall slay Iceheart and all the rest. But why yearn to spill the blood of the great worm, Nidhogg, and only your death will slate my lance. Minor, the dragons are routed. Least you wonder the fighting at the Still Vigil was also fierce, but my crystal braves were not found wanting. Commander Levier, Mino, true to your word, you arrived to aid us in our hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to observe the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons are fled, and there are none yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray let us meet anon when I might express my thanks with proper courtesy. We have indeed achieved a victory of singular importance. With the Dravanian horde thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And mayhap equally significant, the Holy See may now recognise the necessity to cooperate with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gates against the outside world, but I am confident that the day will soon come when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Eorzean Alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggle against dragons and primals, the Ascians and the Empire, but step by unfaltering step, we march ever nearer to our goal. And as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. Yay! The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for the morrow. 'Tis a hope that shall sustain us on the days to come and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our progress. Yes, we have done well, my friend, and I for one would take a moment to savour the enormity of our achievement. Demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Ilber back to Uldar and reassign those blades whose squads suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned the rest at the Rising Stones. Pray return to the Revenant's Toll and share your tower with Minfinia in person. We will see to inform the other nations of what took place here. Do be sure to give our regards to Minfinia. I can't talk to the adventurers. Oh, what a shame. Mino, welcome back. Alphino sent word of the siege and, of course, of the role you played in ending it. Your deeds never cease to amaze me, Mino. Thank you. Yeah. Broken bridges. Administrative decision. You must be wary, Mino, and now may very well be your only chance to accident. What do you want? Hello. A messenger from Moenbryda arrived with a missive for you. The royal seal. Curious indeed. Ah, an invitation. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Royal Majesty Namo Namo invites the Sons of the Seventh Dawn to attend the feast at the Royal Palace of Ul'dah in honour of Ishgard's recent victory. It would seem we are to be recognised for our part in lifting the siege. You for your valiant efforts as commander of the adventurers contingent, and the Archons for their earnest attempts to rouse the city-states. Truly I find it strange that the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving of a place at such a celebration. All three refused to deploy their standing armies, preferring to instead hastily assemble companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began, and they truly are brazen as to seek to share in the glory of your triumph. But mayhap they simply seek to pretext to meet with the Asgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. Such an occasion would present a fine opportunity to press for Ishgard to return to the Eorzean Alliance. We have scarce had time to mourn Moenbryda, and I, for one, am in no mood for a carouse. But I suppose we must put away our grief for the good of the realm. Though you were promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be a strange celebration indeed if the victorious hero were not present. Pray contend yourself with the thought of such occasions may bring about momentous change, and this without recourse to bloodshed. Totaro, if you would do me a favour and contacting the rest of the Scions. Of course, Acadent. And please let me know if there's anything else I can do. Curious. I've never known Totaro to sign such requests. Could it be the miss? I think she wants to be without the party. It's not fucking complicated. She wants to be there. Totaro is conspicuous by her absence. Ooh. Feminine. Totaro, I believe she just stepped outside. Now that I think of it, she did seem rather preoccupied. Oh, she's... Oh, Mino, it's you. I didn't mean to worry anyone, but it's nothing really. Well, it's not nothing exactly. It feels like nothing compared to the towering trials you and the others face every day. And that's why I should prefer to talk to Mifinia before things get any worse. You always know what to say, Mino. I'm glad that we had this little chat. Yes, Tataru. You have my undivided attention. I've been hesitant to broach the subject, well, with all the recent excitement, but Mino made me realise there's no time like the present, and time is what I'm here to ask for you. I'm not sure I understand. If you wish to be excused from your duties for a time, then you have certainly earned a rest. But I suspect that lying in bed is far from your intent. You know me all too well, Accident. There is, in fact, something I've been wanting to try my hand at. Along with the adventurers in the Crystal Brace, the Silence are constantly being thrown into dangerous battles and deadly predicaments. Even Horay Boulder and Cornet have been promoted from guard duty to fill our need for competent warriors. And so it seems only right that I too should acquire a power to defend myself, and others, more importantly. When I return, I shall be both your receptionist and your bodyguard. Well, hey. That's the first time I've always been knocked to the ground by a ladderfell. I've never seen Mr. Tataru so determined. Has aught befell for which I might help, Accident? Not at present, thank you. Was there something you would ask of me? Yes, pray excuse my distraction. An adventurer who was to join us for escort duty was injured while on patrol. I fear we cannot properly defend the scholars entrusted to our protection without the aid of at least one more guard. Thereby I humbly request that another adventurer or a capable kind, of course, be assigned to our party. Very well, I shall consider the potential candidate and provide you with a replacement as soon as I am able. Well, thanks, Accident. I take my leave of you. An unexpected ambition. Inferior is lost for words. The power to defend oneself from Tataru has ever been full of surprises. Now that I think of it, I do recall Orionjo mentioning that she had developed an interest in Alchemina. Mayhaps she hopes to gain admittance to the Arcanist Guild in Namosa. Yes, that will be way of it. Would you be so kind as to journey to the guild and see if all is well? It is doubtlessly unwarranted, but surely I'm not alone in my concern for her safety. Yes, return to my guild. Oh no, what are you doing here? I'm a summoner. I didn't mean to worry her to worry, but that's the last thing I wanted. Putting an end to such worries is precisely the reason I'm here, don't you see? I, Tataru, shall become a great and powerful arcanist. Yay. Now, at Mistress Filgabrim's behest, I must go and complete a special training exercise until we meet again. I've never done this as a summoner. I did this as a dragoon. Maybe she might mention that I am actually a summoner. If it isn't Mino, what brings you to the guild? You are acquainted with our newest member, Sire. An arcanist of your experience must see that her potential is somewhat lacking. Nevertheless, she would not be denied, and it goes now to undertake her first trial. Simulated inspection of 3 crates. Doubtless you recall receiving similar training under Kihaya's supervision. A thought occurs to me. Why not you oversee Tatari's training yourself, given your relationship with the girl and your familiarity with the task? I think you are an ideal choice. You need only head to the cliffs south of Zephyr's Gate, as before, and observe at a distance. Yeah. Whatever happened to her, the inspector? Zephyr's Gate. When the Azure sees the pirate's port where she met her shining jewel. For to bring the smuggler's plans to naught, come the lass whom none could fool. Beaten with the black draft, beaten with the gust, decking with a downburst, go carbuncle, go. Well, I haven't taught that song. Oh ho ho. Are those crates I spy? And this must be the true test. But we were ready for them, aren't we, a carbuncle? Carbuncle? Oh, come back, Carmichael, come back. I should have known you'd come, Mino. You didn't say a word, your face says it all. I know you bore witness to my shame. Betrayed by my own carbuncle and left at the mercy of wild beasts. I must accept the truth. I'll never be a warrior like you or the others. I will inform Mistress Fabrim that my intention to withdraw from the guild. Arcamina, like much else, is beyond me.
I've never seen this cutscene.
Huh?
Have you seen this cutscene before?
Yeah, I've seen the cutscene. Yeah, I've never done it as a summoner though. When I did it, I was a dragoon. I hadn't even started the arcanist line. Yeah, I've seen it. It was like I've seen it as a dragoon. It's like, what the hell am I supposed to do here? Help her out? Let's speak with the guild master. Handing in the book and a carbuncle. Back so soon. How fared our flexion in Arcanist? Abysmally, Mistress from Brim. Abysmally, as Mino will testify. I was wrong to become an Arcanist. Wrong as usual. I am completely and utterly unqualified, and sincerely apologise for wasting your time. Tataru, if it were true, I would never have permitted you to join in the first place. Whatsoever we must come to all to accept our limitations, lest our ambitions lead us to astray. However, we must not lose sight of our strength in the process. For example, your exceptional skills with numbers help you gain a solid grasp of fundamental arcana. Were it not so, you would have struggled to even summon a carbuncle to your side. In my opinion, the Scions are truly fortunate to have such a capable and good-natured receptionist in their service. Would you not agree? Yep. You are too kind, Mistress Rimmer, but I could not overcome this challenge. I shall take your words to heart, and I shall not be discouraged. Affecting as these garments are, I fear I shall never don them again. But I can't go back to the Rising Stones without something to show for my time away. Wait, I know what I can do. Do you mind accompanying me for a little longer? Wonderful. Then to the Costa del Sol we'll go in for a bit of a gamble. I'm confident it will pay off. I'll be careful at the Costa del Sol. Guy who runs it is a bit of a pervert.
Yep.
Yes, this is it. This is where the man at the drowning wench told me to look. There is a certain variety of clam which can be harvested this time of year in Bloodshaw, one which produces the most valiant, marvellous pearls. However, these claims are also coveted by certain wild creatures, and since I fared rather poorly in the battle last time, let's must be off. Okay, what's she getting me into now? What fortune? I've already found one. Would you be so kind as to keep watch while I work? This should only take a moment. No, fourth chicken nugget. You done. Well fought, Mino. Never well fought. I knew I was right to ask you to come. As for me, I have my prize, a bounty of blood pearls. So named for their reddish hue, they were treasured as wards against dark magics in ancient times. I thought I might make them charms for everyone, so that no matter where they go, they always come home. It's sort of the power to defend myself and others, people, in a way. Right, well, I should keep my Finmin waiting. There's work to be done, lots of it. We're to secure provisions for the science in the Mosian markets. She may have an eye for quality, but I have a nose for bargains. Will you be heading back to the Rising Stones? If so, pray convey my apologies to the accident and tell her that she needn't worry about me. Farewell, Mino, and thanks for everything. That sounded rather final, didn't it? How about until we meet again? That's our feeder zone. That's what our feeder zone means. Right. Do. Welcome home, Mino. I gather you found a Taru in Namosa. Why, it sounds as though she had quite an adventure, and while it did not end as she hoped, I suspect it will prove to be a valuable experience. I dare say she could have managed without our intervention. Even so, I appreciate you indulging my request. Okay, where we are needed. I wonder, do you have perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish Moenbryda with a capable venture? Well, I'm sorry to say that I have yet been able to do so. Now I realise that you are rather more than a capable adventurer, and that escort duty is frankly beneath a woman of your talents, but I have no one else to turn to at present. Might you be willing to forego the rest and assist us in this matter? Yay! Hello. Generous to a fault. I thank you, Mino. Now, it would only be fair to explain the importance of the task at question. For time, our order has employed a handful of scholars to travel around the earth, taking the atmospheric readings that we might better understand the impact of primal summons. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employers' safety, and we are asked adventurers in our service as escorts. Moenbryda and Corfinet were to act as two escorts, as was a third adventurer. Alas, due to injury, said adventurer is not presently fit for duty, hence my need to impose upon your goodwill. You truly are a pillar of strength, Mino. Moenbryda will share you with the details of your task. He should be waiting for you outside to be safe. Yay. Hello. Sorry about that.
It's alright, no worries. I assume you're streaming, right?
I am streaming, yep, and I can hear you.
Hello, internet. Can't get a kingdom come. I'll be thrown in jail. I've got to save Hans because he's going to get murdered for poaching.
Have you started the story yet?
I have done the wedding, and I'm in the middle of saving Hans.
Happy days.
He was caught poaching.
Yeah, I think I might actually stop streaming because I'm only going for nearly 2 hours, and there's a lot left, including a big 45-minute chunk coming up. I really don't want to be going for 3 hours. Right.
Balls.
To the wall.
Balls to the wall. Right. Shall I end it there? Ta-ta-ta.
Bye, world.